Bitwig has released their version 5.2 and it has a bunch of features that I'm really looking forward to test. So in this video I will show you everything new on this version. Also, if you end up liking this video, please subscribe to the channel. Now, right now this is on beta, but if you have your upgrade plan active, you can download it. So the first thing I want to test are the new EQ Emulations that now are Bitwig devices. I know this may not be the most exciting feature for many of my viewers, but I'm excited about it. Basically, we have three new EQ plugins. The simplest one is the Tilt EQ, which is basically two shelves, and when you boost the highs, you cut the lows, and vice versa. But the other two new EQ devices are the EQ Emulations. Sculpt is based on the classic EQ that everyone knows, and Focus is based on a less known EQ but still very popular, which takes care of the mid-range frequencies. On this last one we have three knobs, two that will boost frequencies and one that will cut, and we have set selections of the frequency range. These are the same that are present on the actual hardware. Now, the EQ that most people use is tube bass, so you have the option to use tube saturation. But Bitwig knows that many people like the curves and want to keep it clean. They added that option, but not only that, we can also set it to transistor, having a unique type of EQ with transistor circuits.
At the break of dawn, I'll be gone. Run into the shadows, I'll be gone tomorrow.
The same goes for the classic EQP1 EQ. And similar to the other one, we have the same controls that you will find on the hardware. The same frequency selections. On the low end you can boost and attenuate the frequencies, and with this you can create the low end EQ tree. Basically this tree is boosting and cutting on the same frequency. It will give you this shape, which will make the low end more focused because you're also cutting what's above it. It's very simple to use and is one of the most used EQs of all time, I believe. Now, before we go to the next one, I would like to make a test between Sculpt and other of the EQs that I have. These are the one by EQ Multimedia and the one that now is on the virtual mix rack. Now, of course, every emulation will be based on different units, and different units will have different behaviors, different sounds, and whatever else. Still, I find they have a pretty similar vibe. Sculpt sounds a little bit more open, but that's something just for taste. What I'm hearing is a great emulation. Now, next up are some new grid devices. These are pretty basic, but will let you create more complex chains. We have now two crossovers, which are band splits, so you can create multi-band patches. So yeah, with this you can go more in depth with some design inside the grid. By the way, you can download this Bitwig project if you're a patron or a member of the channel, so consider becoming one. I will also add a little bit of surprises that are not on this video. Other of the new devices is Over. I don't know if you're new to Bitwig or you have been with Bitwig from the beginning, but one thing that we always wanted was a dedicated clipper. Clippers can completely destroy the sound because it's a type of distortion too, but when you use it softly you can control the transients of a sound. Because of that you can go louder without increasing the peaks. Of course you have to keep it subtle, otherwise you will start distorting. It has auto-make at gain, and not only that, we have many options that are great on a clipper. Finally, I find it really useful that it has this delta button right here. It's pretty common on compressors and other dynamics, and will basically let you hear everything that goes above the clipper. Now let's go to the big guy. Compressor Plus is the device that you are probably most excited about. And let me tell you, it's deep. For starters, we have the basic controls for any compressor, the threshold, the ratio, the attack, and the release. Not only that, we have a nice standard visualizer. Now, if you open it up, you will see that we have 4 different bands, but that doesn't mean that this is a multi-band compressor. These are more related to the detection circuit, so it's kinda like a multi-band compressor, but also it's not. Basically, this will let you control how the compressor behaves. For instance, it says on the webpage, if you have a sound and the low end is triggering the compressor a lot, you can lower the intensity, or if you want, you can increase the intensity and make it so that signal compresses more. On the other hand, the timing is a timing offset, meaning it can tighten up or relax the compression on each frequency. Of course, everything based on what you have on the main controls. So with this, you can really sculpt the kind of compression you want to achieve. Besides that, we have the knee, it's self-explanatory and have a nice visualizer, and the relax is not present on many compressors, but still it's pretty standard. This will make it so that other signals are not compressed, or rather are not triggering the compressor, because as you can see, we still have a difference in the output gain. Right now, the behavior of the compressor is standard, but this is just one of the 3 modes. The second mode is beyond. This is going to let you go crazy with the ratio. You can put negative ratios, so the louder signals are actually going to be quieter than what's in the middle, or you can make it so the ratio goes beyond. But then we have a dual mode, and on this one, the knee control, actually it's called lift. This is adding an upwards expansion, so the quieter parts become louder. And finally, besides all of that, we have different characters for the compressor. Now that's not all, we have even options for the output. The last few features, we have an auto gain compensation thanks to this learn button, and it also has a sidechain input, which is really useful on any compressor. So yeah, you understand now why this is the big guy. Now a couple more new features on Bitwig 5.2. The chain module now has an auto gain compensation. Now you have auto gain compensation for any other device or any other third-party plugin. and the selector container now has different types on how you can change from one layer to the other. We have round robin, free voice, random, random order, key switches, CC controls, and program chain. Still, that's not it. It's crazy that this is a .x update. They implemented keyboard navigation features for clips being audio or MIDI. They work with the arrow keys and can be used on the arrangement window or on the clip window being audio or MIDI, as I said. And the last new features have to do with the graphic interface. You can see that the buttons, the selectors, and the knobs are popping out a little bit better. This is very subtle, I didn't realize the first time, but it looks better. But it's not only that. The visualizer on many devices looks better now. For instance, the oscilloscope on the grid. And one thing I was wanting ever since I started playing with Bitwig, now we can actually see better the frame on a wavetable. This is very useful for wavetables that are very noisy. Finally, many of these visual things also come with an improvement on the usage of CPU, because these now depend on your GPU, and this creates better performance because now your CPU is a bit more free. I still have to test it with big projects to see if the difference in performance is a lot better or just a bit, but please let me know in the comments your opinions about that and your opinions of this update in general. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time, and bye bye!